Hello, welcome to Outside Xbox. You're watching Show of the Week. I'm Mike.
And I'm Andy. This week, I welcome the news that Fallout 76 is going to deal harshly with griefers by turning them into wanted criminals with a red star over their heads.
They appear on your map as a red star. Everybody sees them, and they have a bounty on their head.
Yes, good. That will definitely put people off. Hey, come on, I haven't even done anything yet.
Probably just want to get a head start, you know, save time come November.
Where are you getting all these Fallout 76 details from anyway? The game's not out for another 3 months.
Yeah, but it was QuakeCon last week and there was a bunch of new info, didn't you see?
Andy, I've told you, weekends are Mike time. By which I mean I spent it plotting how to kill you and destroy all your settlements in Fallout 76 when it comes out. What does that mean?
I mean, it's probably not good.
After thermonuclear war, man's towering industrial marvels may no longer stretch to the heavens. What separates man from beast? It is his desire to build.
Fallout 76 then.
Yes, more Fallout 76 info outside of the confines of a normal trade show. What the hell's going on?
I know. Well, so before we get started, you remember Fallout 76? Remember what that was about?
Yeah, it's like a survival game set in the Fallout universe.
Yeah, everyone that you meet in it is another person.
Yes.
It's all multiplayer.
Yeah, online and
yeah,
murdery probably.
Yeah, and so the first thing everyone thought was, that's going to be a griefing nightmare.
Yes.
So, at QuakeCon last weekend, they talked a little bit about how they're going to deal with griefers.
Right.
Which is interesting, because
cool.
I think that was most people's major concern.
Yeah, any of those like sandboxy online games I've played, someone comes and hits me and steals my loot or whatever.
Yes, exactly. So, the way they were
Also,
talking
I'm
about
naked.
it,
It's
right.
weird.
I mean, before you get attacked, or
During.
after? Sure. Oh, well, okay.
Your fellow Vault 76 dwellers will have emerged as well. Brave the new world together.
So they described it as a bit like someone coming up and slapping you in a bar.
Right.
So if someone comes up and slaps
Not
you,
experienced that,
no,
I must
okay.
admit.
Well, clearly it happens to Todd Howard a lot because that was the example that he gave. But
Right.
it's like someone comes up and attacks you, you only take a little amount of damage.
Oh, okay.
If you attack them back, then the two of you like lock into full damage mode.
Right.
So if someone's like trying to hit you and
You
you're
can just
like,
sort of ignore them.
no, I don't want any of this.
Carry on with your
You're only
gardening
taking a
or
tiny little bit of damage and they're not going to be able to get you that way. Another thing that people are worried about is like losing all their stuff when they
Yes,
get killed.
yeah.
So you keep all your like weapons and equipment and stuff. It's
Right.
just the scrap that you've collected that you lose. when you die.
Okay.
So there are still stakes. Because the scrap is actually quite valuable for when you're building.
Right.
So you don't want to be going around with too much of it. It's a bit like the sort of money in your hand in GTA Online.
Yeah,
As opposed
yeah.
to the money in your account.
But the difference being that presumably with scrap you've got to kind of forage for it. So what you stand to lose is the stuff that's the most boring to regain,
yes,
right?
exactly. Rather,
Okay.
I mean, you're not going to lose all your cool plasma rifles and stuff.
Okay.
But you will lose a bunch of corrugated tin. that
Right, and you
found.
have to go and find a bunch more.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Practice the art of non-verbal communication to gain that interpersonal edge.
You can respawn wherever you want. You can only respawn for free.
Right.
At Vault 76, there's a cost to respawn elsewhere.
Okay.
So if you want, you can be like, I'm going to pay a little and be like on the other side of the world from this jerk who's bothering me.
Yes, yeah.
Or you can like, just for free go back to Vault 76.
What if I just build my house directly outside Vault 76?
Well, I mean, yeah, you could probably do that.
Or just live in Vault 76? It looks quite nice. They've got bunk beds and
But the whole
stuff.
point is to get out of Vault 76. That's
No,
why
but the outside's horrible.
they've specifically recruited you to leave Vault 76.
But did
and
you not see the
rebuild
party hats they
No, I
provided?
did see the party hats. Yeah, you say they made Vault 76 too nice.
Yes, I think so. Yeah,
No
I
one's
think they
gonna
made a
leave
terrible
and
error.
No one's going to rebuild the world.
Exactly.
Because they're having a great time.
TV in there. I saw a TV.
Yeah.
I don't have TV in my shack made of tin.
Well, there you go. All right, end of game. Mike chooses to live forever in Vault 76.
Don't you remember? Time to leave the vault! Most of the others have already gone.
I think it's different for if you're the aggressor and if you're the defender. So they really want to try and discourage people from doing this. So if you kill someone that you're the aggressor in
Yeah.
the situation, you get like no XP, you get no equipment, you get no junk,
Right.
you get no caps, and also what we were talking about in the intro, you get the it's like a red star on the map that shows people where you are. And you have like a bounty on your head.
So everyone's going to be hunting for you.
Yeah, and the bounty in caps comes out of your money.
Oh,
as well.
what?
So,
Wow.
Yeah, I know. So everyone on the map can see where you are, can see how much of the bounty
Yeah.
is on your head, and then they basically become a wanted person. You can't see where anyone else is on the map as well. So it might be like a sort of fun little challenge for yourself. if
When
you
we
want
did those
to.
bounty challenges in
Yeah.
GTA, it was actually quite a good laugh.
You can like build a little fortress and be like, come on then, come
a
on
go.
guys, come and have a go.
Do you think there's a danger they're going to make everyone too nice, and that it's going to be almost boring?
It's going to be a really hard balance to strike,
Yeah.
I think, because you don't want it to just be constant grief, because it would be no fun and there'd be no point in playing. And you don't want it to be too nice because it is a post-apocalyptic wasteland, and you want that sort of Mad Max feel to it. But
I guess it's something that can be, this being an online game, it's something that can be rebalanced sort of after the fact. And if they decide they haven't quite got it right and everyone's making birthday cakes for each other and stuff, they can really put the smack down.
Yeah, well, there's going to be a beta, so I guess they can see like what people do in that and be like, oh, we were way off. Everyone's fully murdering each other all the time.
It's gone
still.
Mad Max.
Yeah.
It's gone full Mad Max. I was curious to see how VATS will work, because they've said VATS is going to be in the game,
Yes, well, okay, so
but in real time, right?
something else that they talked about in QuakeCon was the new perks system.
Right, okay.
So the way that perks work now is when you level up, you get these perk cards.
Okay.
And they have like 5 levels of strength, and you can buy cards together to level them up in strength. But the idea is that you're going to be able to swap perks out and also trade them with other people.
Right,
So you
right.
can give good perks to people who are like in your settlement,
Nice.
and they can have like abilities and things that you've earned that maybe you don't have a use for at the moment. But VATS is going to be one of these perks.
Right, okay.
So initially you won't be able to target like specific body parts
Okay.
in VATS. That's like another perk card that you get, and the whole thing is based on your perception ability. So the more you level up your perception ability, the more powerful VATS will be. But it's, like you say, it's not real time, but it will give you a percentage chance to hit things.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be odd and unusual for people who
When
are
you're used to the
be-
pause and the zoom in, slow
But
mo.
I think the idea of having these perk cards is so that you can, rather than being like stuck with one build, you can swap everything out and put in a bunch of new stuff depending on what you want to do, which is interesting. They've also said they will not be charging real money for packs of perk cards.
Good, I approve.
So currently,
For now.
that is what is true. And we'll see how long that is true for.
They also talked about mutations, right?
Yes, those are interesting. So, because of the amount of radiation
Yes.
in the wasteland, the way I understand it at the moment, the more radiation you're exposed to, the more prone you are to mutations.
Right.
And these are things that they are beneficial in some ways, but sort of negative in other ways. So, the one they have in the perk trailer is you become a sort of horrifying kangaroo rat man, and like you can jump.
And what are the perks of that? What are the
Well, you
benefits?
can jump really far.
Right.
But I think
But no one wants to talk to you.
Yes, and also in the trailer, you just jump really high and then fall off a cliff and die.
Oh.
I'm not sure if they're permanent or not. They might just be temporary.
Yeah, you'd assume they can be mixed in and out, maybe.
Yeah, you can visit a doctor and get them taken care of. But it sounds like it's going to mix things up
Yeah.
quite a bit when you're sort of just out and about exploring.
I mean, you're a big fan of the trad sort of Fallout experience. How do you feel about how different it's already sounding?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really sound like your traditional Fallout experience. It sounds like a completely different kind of game. More base building and like scavenging and that sort of thing, rather than like a quest-based. Because Fallout for me is an RPG rather than more than anything else, whereas this is very much a sort of sandbox
Resource management. sort of.
settlement building game. And those kind of games do get quite dull when you're just out and about collecting resources. So adding like a bunch of weird mutations and like other players trying to kill you and stuff like that does add an element of interest to that I don't think is there in other games of that kind.
Yes, but only if you ever leave the vault, which I'm not going to do.
Yeah, okay, well you be fine in there with your TV and your LPs and I'll be out there building a weird settlement of kangaroo people.
Yeah.
The other thing that they've announced, which is kind of cool, is the game's going to have a photo mode. So,
Oh, nice, with
yeah,
Instagram filters.
with filters, and you can do poses, a bit like sort of Breath of the Wild, where you had all the different poses on the thing. So you can like line up for a big town photo when you've got your supplement going, and it's just a little mushroom cloud in the background that you haven't noticed. And you look at the picture, and you're like, what the? So there's that to look forward to as well.
Sounds good. I'll be taking pictures of myself in party hats.
Well, you
in Vault
won't.
76.
Because you won't have left Vault 76 and the camera's outside.
I bet there's a camera in there somewhere, surely. Surely, they've got a TV.
What's that sound? Oh dear. There goes the neighborhood.
There's going to be a beta in October. So PS4, Xbox One. PC, interesting, not Steam.
I know, I heard that.
Yeah.
They've got their own thing they want to do.
Yeah, they're like, how about we don't give you 30% of all of our money?
I must
instead release it.
The cynical part of me was like, maybe try that with Fallout 5 rather than the sort of untested spin-off.
Yeah.
But maybe the beta's the way to get everyone to install the Bethesda game manager, whatever they call it. Yeah.
Deal.
It's like, that's the gateway drug, and then onto the hard stuff. Please buy our game on PC.
But yeah, so there will be a beta beforehand, so people can sort of have a go with it and see exactly how many times a day they get nuked. And Bethesda can be like, wow, that was way more than we were expecting.
Just a map full of red stars.
Gonna calibrate this. But yeah, so that's, keep an eye on Bethesda's socials for that.
We'll be playing it, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm keen to check it out. Like I say, I'm skeptical because it's not really the kind of game I enjoy, but I do love Fallout, so I'm keeping an open mind. That said, it's coming out in November, and Red Dead 2 is out on October 26th.
Competing for your affections.
I'm just saying, this beta better be pretty good. So it seems like they're trying to stop Fallout 76 from turning into a total grief fest. I know that was a concern for a lot of people.
Yeah, but this is people. We're talking about Andy. You know what people are like.
True. I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
It will be an interesting psychological experiment.
Ooh, speaking of interesting psychological experiments, that reminds me.
Reminds you of what? Oh no, it's only my challenge of the week, isn't it? Gee damn it, Andy, so sneaky.
Segue.
Reserve your family spot in a state-of-the-art underground vault today. Sign up now and prepare for the future.
Jane, welcome to the sofa, where
Thanks for having me.
we're talking about vaults.
Okay.
Now, as you know, Jane, vaults in Fallout are both underground shelters to keep people safe from the deadly radiation outside, but also harbour a sinister secret second use, which is to conduct psychological experiments upon a captive group of people and study the results.
Yep.
So,
vaults were never meant to save anyone, Andy.
apart from the ones that were control vaults, they were meant to save people.
Yes.
But we don't talk about those. We're here to talk about the weird psychological experiment ones. And Jane, your challenge this week is to design a vault-tec vault. And I want you to tell me everything about it. I want to know how many people are in it.
Right.
I want to know the genders of the people, their professions, why they're there. I want to know what the psychological experiment being conducted is. And I want to know what you expect to see happen at the end of it. You've got 10 minutes to come up with your vault. You'll be pitching your vault to the vault-tec investment panel. I imagine a sort of Dragon's Den situation.
Shareholders.
But, yeah, shareholders of vault-tec, who will be played by me at the end of this. And they will decide whether to go forward with your vault idea or to throw it into the nuclear fire.
Okay.
So
you decide if I get the point?
I decide if it's a good idea or not. The people will vote on whether they think it should get a point.
All right.
I am fully impartial as vault-tec. So, Jane, I'm going to give you 10 minutes and I want you to come up with a vault. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Act now, and your family can wait out the horrors of nuclear devastation.
Okay, your time starts now. I have given you paper and pen with which to conduct your design. And you can talk us through your design or you can just save it for the presentation.
The scientist's best friends.
Up to you. All the different colours.
Felt tips.
You can have a green vault, a red vault, any colour, really. But the time is ticking.
Okay.
And I need to know what number it is as well.
What number? All right, let's start with a number.
Okay, that's good.
Is there a vault 71?
Ooh, okay. I don't think so, off the top of my
Okay,
head.
I like it.
There is not a vault 71.
All right, let's go vault 71. I bagsied it. Todd Howard, you keep your hands off vault 71.
Seriously, I got goosebumps.
I can tell you about some other vaults while we do this. Vault 75. James, how about this one? It was underneath a school, and it was full of children who they tortured.
That's not an experiment.
No,
Do kids like being tortured?
they were tested mentally and physically,
Right.
harshly,
Right.
bordering on torture.
So was this just physical education?
No, it was to find out who had the good genes, and then they would get harvested. Oh, it's eugenics.
Oh, don't you hate it?
Of course, it always turns out to be eugenics. You're doing good on the logo there.
Okay.
I'm enjoying that.
Well, like all of these things, Andy.
You start with
it's
the
about-
branding.
Yeah, you start with branding and work backwards.
Attract the funding.
Is there no words for vault, like a university accepted as the word?
It's going to be this one.
What about Vault 112, Vault 112 from Fallout 3? That's the one where everyone is in the simulation of the 1950s neighborhood, and they're all being kept alive in like little pods.
That would have been fine if that little girl wasn't ruining everything.
The little girl is the guy who put them all in the pods.
It was my last and greatest project. I'm quite grateful that I was placed directly in charge of it.
All right. He specifically did it so he could torture everyone. He had a previous simulation where they were all in a ski lodge and they all just kept dying in horrible skiing accidents. And then he moved it to the Tranquility Lane simulation.
And what was his scientific thesis?
His scientific thesis was they put me in charge of a vault and I'm just going to murder everyone forever.
It's bad science.
Yeah. Vault 11, that was the one where the vault dwellers were encouraged to sacrifice the overseer every year. And then they kept sacrificing the overseer over and over and over again until there was like 3 people left, and then they were like, we're not going to do it. And they were like, congrats, you passed the test. We would have let you all out when you just stopped killing each other. And they were like, oh man, and then they all like
Seems more like moralising than psychological testing, if I'm honest.
Yeah, well, this is all grist for the mill, Jane.
Okay.
You could think of the moralising you could do in your
No moralising. Science.
Okay. Oh, Vault 106, that's a fun one. They waited a few days after the doors had shut, and then they just filled it with psychoactive drugs through the air system. So everyone was tripping all the balls all the time. No, Gary's one is the one with the cloning lab. Right. And a guy called Gary cloned himself over and over again until there was just loads of guys called Gary.
Gary!
Fine. Wow. That's right, James. You can click on the...
Did someone ever do that?
Did someone ever do that? Why not click on the button and you can watch some cool guy tell you about them? Oh no, Vault 19, fire geckos got in. I don't think that was an experiment. I think they just got in.
That's at least as valid an experiment as anything that's ever been done.
Yeah.
What happens if fire geckos get in?
Vault 22 was equipped with agricultural technologies so that they could grow their own crops. Unfortunately, everyone turned into plant monsters.
What? How? Why?
Spores, Jane. Spores got in them.
Don't put spores in your vault.
They all got spored.
Okay.
You got spored up. Jane, you've had 6 minutes of your 10.
Well, I've designed a logo, and that's really the main challenge.
The main thing.
What you'll find in
identity.
academia, in the world of science, Andy, is mostly about designing a really good logo, and then it all comes from there.
Well, it's 4 minutes till the meeting. You're in the elevator going up to the meeting right now.
Okay, fine.
I'm just...
Okay.
Thanks very much for coming in and telling us your vault idea. It was good. We've got one
You're
more person
welcome.
to see.
Yeah.
So,
oh no, you're not talking to me.
I'm saying goodbye to the last candidate.
Oh right.
So,
I punched them on the way out.
Thanks for coming in.
Okay.
We really enjoyed your vault idea, where everyone gets broken on a giant wheel every day. There's a lot of potential there. So thanks for coming in. All right. All right, guys. We've got a couple of minutes before the next candidate. If you want to just stretch your legs, have coffee, think about psychological experiments, how good they are, how morally correct we are to do this.
This is going to be so good. What are we doing? Science?
Psychological experiments.
Right.
Psychology is really going to leaps and bounds in psychology.
Yeah.
We've got 7, 6, 5,
okay.
4.
I'm done.
3. Oh, you're done?
Yeah, bonus time.
Ahead of time.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. Well, that's 10. So.
Hi,
Ms. Douglas. Welcome to vault-tec.
Oh, no, welcome to me. You're right. This is your office for now.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for coming in.
You're welcome.
We're excited we heard a lot about your experience in mad science.
It's all true.
And we would love to hear your idea for a vault-tec vault. Obviously, we have a lot of money to throw at the right idea.
Yeah, I know.
So.
Well, I know. Welcome to Vault 71.
Vault 71.
It's all the fun for science. I've done your marketing.
Wow.
2 for 1.
I love the logo.
You get a scientist, you get a marketeer.
That yellow and blue colour scheme, I think we could work with that. I already love it.
Just a little bonus for you there.
Great, okay.
You can fire your marketing guys.
So that could be like a jingle.
They can go in 71. They can be the first through the door.
71. It's all the fun.
Yeah, there you go.
Bum bum.
Thank you. I didn't know you were a jingle.
It's good. Well,
expert.
you know, I'm a
dabble.
I'm a triple threat.
You dabble. Oh.
Jingles, vault design. Pretty good golf.
You do vault design?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's how I got this job. So,
I do vault design.
Cool. Well, tell me about your vault.
Can I have your job?
I'd love to. Well, if your vault's good enough, maybe.
Right. Welcome to Vault 71.
Oh gosh, there it is.
Here it is.
I love it.
So
talk me through it.
You've seen the door already.
Yep.
This is where they arrive from the nightmarish radioactive hellscape.
Okay, they're all fully psychologically susceptible to anything we're going to throw at them.
Yeah, they're pretty beat up.
Cool.
Maybe they've been separated from their loved ones, families. Maybe they're frightened.
This is
of what's outside.
Yep,
what's
vault-tec
to
is
come.
all about
the future is uncertain.
Big fan of that.
Okay, we're like,
good.
welcome aboard.
So how many people are going in?
We're going to have as many as we can cram in. I'm going to say there's a capacity for 6,000.
Wow, that is a lot of people living in a very confined space.
Like a festival, but underground.
Already.
And there's no music, only science.
Already sounds pretty psychologically.
Right, so they come in, sleeping quarters are over here.
Is that 4 beds for 6,000 people?
It's a map, Andy. It's not literal.
Sure.
This is where the beds will be, all 6,000 beds.
So there are a bed for everyone.
This is the cafeteria where you can drink coffee.
And the coffee is regular, is it? There's
Coffee's
no
regular.
drugs in the coffee or?
It's the canteen.
Okay.
Living quarters.
Good, so that's all normal so far.
Fine mesh screen where we
push them through and they get cubed. Love it. Okay, good. Now we're getting somewhere. All right, vault-tec
This is an
loves
experiment
this kind of
to
stuff.
find out what happens when people are pushed through a fine mesh screen.
See, that is the kind of science I love. So good.
This is where we we use atoms to shrink Ant-Man style half of the participants.
God, that's so psychological.
Into like matchbox size.
Yeah.
And the other half we grow them into like, I want to say the size of a monster truck.
Brilliant.
Okay?
I love it. So.
And then we see how they get on with each other.
Okay.
My theory is it's going to be hilarious.
I love it. So some people being pushed through a fine mesh screen, some people being grown and shrunk.
And some shrunk.
Okay, wow.
Okay, over here is where we expose them to super radiation, which is a new kind of radiation I've been working on, which is much, much worse.
That's great.
Much more mutagenic than the regular radiation.
Because they thought they were getting away from radiation.
Super radiation.
Super radiation, you
James
idiot.
patented super radiation right here. Over here is where we put their hands on their feet and feet on their hands.
To study.
I mean, obviously, yes. To study the effects of having hands for feet and feet for hands.
Probably.
You don't need me to tell you.
It's quite psychological, actually.
It's extremely it's physiological, it's psychological, neurological, biological.
Yeah.
It's all the logicals.
All the logicals.
This is, I like to call this the who do you want to electrocute more experiment.
Nice.
Where you have 2 people.
Yeah.
Preferably with pre-existing relationships. With each other, and
that's so psychological.
Experiment subject who has to decide who they want to electrocute more. So you've got a certain amount of electricity. Like, do you want to electrocute everyone equally?
Yep. So it's like your mum and your dad.
Yeah. Like, do you divide it like half and half?
Yeah.
How much do you want to electrocute people?
Oh my god! And then after that, they could get pushed through a fine mesh screen.
I mean, it's a mixed bag. It's a collection box. It's a medley of science, and this. I like to call this the mystery room.
The mystery box.
Where you can, as a subject of Vault 71, elect to go instead of any of the others.
You go into the mystery room.
Yeah.
And what's in the mystery room?
Well, that's it. You don't know.
But like we will know.
We'll know. Yeah.
Is it a big whirring
probably
blade?
A finer mesh screen.
Like even finer, and they just get.
Yeah, so they're more like a paste than a cube. But they won't know. They'll probably think it's something either really, really good or really, really insanely like Hellraiser-y bad.
Wow, I mean that's very impressive. And when you started out with the regular sleeping quarters and the regular cafeteria, I was thinking, whoa, I don't know where she's going with this.
With the sleeping quarters.
No even drugs in the tea or anything. But then, bam, out with the fine mesh. And then the atoms, particularly a big fan of the
super
atoms
radiation
and the super radiation.
I know.
And well, that is extremely psychological. And you packed a lot in. To the vault as well.
Well,
that's
going to be very expensive.
It's like 6 experiments. Well, we've got all the money.
Thank you.
6 experiments in one. I'm going to have to run this up the ladder to my superiors. Who are watching right now on the vault-tec video link.
Thank you for listening to my TED Talk. I mean, research grant application.
So, vault-tec superiors at home, if you want to vote on whether we should send Vault 71 into production or not.
It's all the fun.
Let's see the cover page again.
Vault 71.
It's all the fun for science. There you go. So, vote now. Now it's time to see what's written in the YouTube comments and check in on the Japanese special edition bonuses for Resident Evil 2.
A £530 keyboard that looks like a typewriter. What kind of idiot would spend their money on that?
Yes, only an idiot would order a £500 novelty keyboard.
Amazon delivery. Looks like some kind of £500 novelty keyboard.
Come back later, please.
Okay, well, while we wait for the courier to return, let's take a look at the comments for last week's show, which was all about Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and challenged Mike to identify Tomb Raider animals from only their shadows.
Ah, I see what we did there. I'm very sorry to tell you that it is the T-Rex.
It looks ludicrous!
Hey, take it up with Core's art department in the 90s.
I will! Wait, how do I get back to the 90s?
You're going to need to invent a time machine. It's probably not, there's probably not time. So
Okay,
you're just going to have to accept no point for that, I'm afraid.
I changed, I switched.
Commenter Khan the Betrayer thinks you've missed the point there, Andy. Yeah, you. Saying, Andy, you'd have to invent a time machine. There's probably not time. Andy, I think you've completely misunderstood time machines.
Look, I told you, no more time machines, not after the whole accidentally killing Space President Zaxo Flimflam incident.
Who's Space President Zaxo Flimflam?
Yeah, exactly. What were we talking about again? Oh yeah, Lara Croft.
Tomb Raider?
Yeah.
What are they so afraid of?
A few people on hand to answer Lara's question there, such as commenter Ross Jones, who says, Lara, what are they so afraid of? You've killed 83 people, Lara. You. They're afraid of you.
And with good cause, as pointed out by commenter Defector from Decadence, who says, Lara, 2013, oh God, why? I'm so tortured by all this violence I'm forced to commit. Lara, 2018, I'ma string this guy up all Predator-like.
It's quite the character evolution.
I had to kill some of them. I had no choice.
Moving on, your comments on this video about the only thing I care about anymore, Red Dead Redemption 2.
You mean care about apart from your close friends and family?
I know what I said.
Now, we say we're looking forward to building relationships with our fellow gang members, but let's face it, there's one gang member in particular with whom we want maximum face time. And it's this gang member, and it's this face.
In response to your question, Andy, about what people are looking forward to doing in Red Dead Redemption 2, commenter Yorkshire Puddin has this suggestion. I'm really excited to meet a young John Marston and warn him about the dangers associated with exiting barns.
Commenter Piggy, meanwhile, has more modest ambitions, saying, I'm going to touch water without instantly dying.
Yeah, maybe Yorkshire Puddin should spend their time warning John about the dangers of doing that.
And on the topic of the new camp feature in Red Dead Redemption 2, commenter Carlo Zotman has this to say. Hanging out with your fellow gang members sounds suspiciously like GTA 4. Just imagine. Have carrier pigeon land on shoulder. Take little letter from its leg. Unfold letter. Arthur, it's me, your cousin, uncle. Wanna build a bowling place and go bowling?
Oh God, he's right. That's it. I'm gonna go and live alone in the woods like a cowboy hermit.
Good thinking. I'll tell everyone except uncle.
Cousin uncle.
Sorry, cousin, uncle.
Finally this week, your comments on this video in which Andy and I undertook a hitman contract that asked us to electrocute an elderly Texan and make it look like a tragic vaping accident.
So and we've been contracted by, we assume, Big Tobacco to murder him before lung cancer does and make it look like, what, Andy?
A vaping accident.
Though the hit went off flawlessly, obviously, some commenters were more concerned about the footage apparently missing from the middle, such as commenter John O'Neill, who says, sometime later, they are suddenly wearing a large straw hat and are talking about dance mats. I feel like we missed a part there.
Yeah, maybe.
Alright, well, the dance mat is... I mean, I can try exposing that and see if I just lay him on the dance mat. I don't know.
Commenter Lego Corvo was similarly confused by the missing footage and says, hold on, you can't just put up a sometime later screen. If life has taught me anything, it's that if you disappear for an extended period of time and then come back in a completely different outfit with an unconscious naked man, you have to explain yourself. I don't make the rules. Look, we don't want to talk about what happened in that cut footage.
Let's just say the Texan was probably relieved when he did get electrocuted.
We said we'd never speak of it again. Ah!
Oh!
Yes, keep going! Oh, it's not! Water! Water's flooding in!
Oh, I did! I eliminated him!
Well, everyone was very impressed with how much of an accident we managed to make that look, such as commenter Dom Locke, who says, accidental kill. Well, naturally, that floor looked very polished and slippery. He probably slipped and, like anyone, whipped out his sidearm and began wildly firing into the nearest window with water on the other side. In an effort to regain balance, of course. Just poor luck there happened to be a live wire at his feet. What a shame.
Right, thank you. It's an open and shut case.
Yeah, maybe just don't check the security camera footage.
No.
If that's all the comments, I'm just going to go back to the sofa.
Okay, cool. Just shout when you're done. I need you and Mike to test something for me.
Right, that whole vault design thing, that was just for fun. Yeah,
Yeah, I know, obviously.
Okay, good.
Of course. But when you come back, do put this jumpsuit on for me.
Okay, can do.
There's a lad. Free jumpsuit. You're welcome.
That's it for Show of the Week. Thanks for watching. But before you go, congrats, you've leveled up.
Nice. What do they get?
Well, they can choose one new perk, either Power Press, which lets them press the like button more commandingly, or Expert Liker, which gives them more XP every time they press the like button.
Are there any that don't involve the like button?
No, it's just like button stuff.
Okay, well, choose wisely. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. All right, lunch.
Yeah, shouldn't you do something about that star before?
It'll be fine. Who's there?
Mercenary squad in power armor.
See? Those guys are probably there to help me get rid of it.
Cool. I'm gonna go and stand over here.
Okay.